Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Now this weekend, I'm Dua Shar. Emily Haugen is off tonight. The death toll now tops 150 after Halloween partying in Seoul, South Korea turned into a stampede. A warning, some of these images are disturbing. Wendy Gillette reports from New York.
Ambulance sirens wailed in the streets of Seoul as first responders and anyone prepared to help desperately performed CPR to try to save those who had stopped breathing. Crowds celebrating Halloween had surged into a narrow alley near popular clubs and bars. And it was there that the crush became too much and many fell, toppling each other like dominoes, according to one survivor. An estimated 100,000 young people, mostly in their 20s, were celebrating the holiday, the biggest party since the pandemic started.
Oh my God, oh my God.
A social media video captured the terror of the night as the surge started. Overwhelmed emergency officials lined the dead in the street. More than 1,700 responders were dispatched to the area. President Biden and the First Lady released a statement sending their deepest condolences to the families who lost loved ones. South Korea's president declared a period of national mourning and visited the site of the tragedy. This is the worst disaster in the country since a ferry sinking in 2014. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
More than 80 people were injured, some critically, and at least 19 foreigners are among the dead.
Well, we had a lot more cloud cover to deal with at times today, but the temperatures still on the mild side with afternoon highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s, 61 in La Crosse, 60 in Eau Claire, even a 67 down in Boscobel, 64 in Prairie du Chien. Still mostly cloudy conditions, the sun trying to peek through before it sets this evening, and radar showing some light radar returns, but the air is so dry near the surface, none of this is reaching the ground. You have to go much closer to this low down near St. Louis, Missouri before you see some scattered showers, but that activity will stay to our south and east tonight. 59 degrees in La Crosse and Viroqua, still 62 in Prairie du Chien, 60 in Sparta, 60 at Volkfield, and 59 in Eau Claire. Forecast for tonight, mostly to eventually partly cloudy overnight. Seasonably cool, lows in the 30s for most. We'll be in the upper 30s to around 40, though, for low here in La Crosse with light or calm winds across the region. Very mild stretch of weather, including for our Halloween Monday. All the details of my 8-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Bill. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a case that would end affirmative action at colleges. Justices will meet tomorrow to consider whether colleges and universities can continue to take race into consideration as a factor in admissions. Challengers are targeting minority admissions programs, saying they violate equal protection and are discriminatory. This may leave the future of admissions plans at hundreds of schools in the balance. While some Milwaukee bars are banning Jeffrey Dahmer Halloween costumes this weekend. The notorious serial killer took the lives of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Caroline Reinwald reports some bars are trying to educate people who don't know the trauma Dahmer caused.
Ahead of Halloween festivities, management at DIX Milwaukee is warning customers one costume will not be tolerated.
We understand that there is a generation out there that did not live this situation. They may not understand the severity of how it affected the community.
Promoting their Saturday Halloween party and costume contest, DIX also posted on Facebook, "Please, no Jeffrey Dahmer costumes."
We just don't want to really put our patrons in a situation where they would have to see something or relive something that they had to truly experience.
A traumatizing time the LGBTQ+ community lived through. Dahmer killed 17 men and boys, most of them in Milwaukee. Authorities say he met many of his victims in gay bars in Walker's Point.
DIX here in Walker's Point isn't the only bar sending this message. Another bar downtown is also warning their customers not to show up in a Dahmer costume.
The bar This Is It also posted their own Dahmer costume ban on Facebook, telling 12 News it's been getting phone calls ever since the Netflix series aired, adding such hateful and disrespectful costumes will not be allowed in our space.
It really kind of infuriates me. It's just like really one, we shouldn't even be having to have this conversation.
In Milwaukee, Caroline Reinwald, WYSN 12 News.
Now, bars aren't the only place Jeffrey Dahmer costumes are banned. Earlier this month, online retailer eBay banned Dahmer Halloween costumes from being sold on its platform. The online retailer stated costumes of the serial killer violate company policy by promoting or glorifying violence. Well, a new memorial is coming to La Crosse. The La Crosse City Vision Foundation has started selling granite bricks for a new Veterans Memorial in Riverside Park. Local businesses can get in on the fun and purchase a brick. The memorial will open in spring of 2023. We will post a link to the foundation's website on news8000.com. And another annual La Crosse Halloween tradition is underway. The First Presbyterian Church in La Crosse hosted its annual Trunk or Treat today. Trunk or Treaters got a chance to get some candy, play some games, and participate in a raffle. Organizers say that the turnout was amazing all around.
We had people lined up right at 3 o'clock when we started. And we have people returning from last year and years past. It's just great. It's a regular neighborhood event that they count on.
Apart from trick-or-treating, church organizers say it's a great way to recruit new people to the church. And across the bridge in Minnesota, a pumpkin is set to break records this week. The massive gourd from Anoka, nicknamed Maverick, weighs at 2,560 pounds. Today, it's at the steps of Anoka City Hall, where it's being carved into the world's biggest jack-o'-lantern. The pumpkin set the North American record for pumpkin weight. And there is no shortage of haunted houses this time of year, but in St. Petersburg, Florida, there is a haunted house that not only makes you jump with fright, but smile in appreciation. As Robert Boyd reports, the entire haunted attraction is put on by adults with developmental disabilities.
Well, when it comes to Halloween here at Park, it's not just about scaring, it's about creating, motivating, and inspiring. However, this weekend, it is pretty scary.
From zombies to dead brides to witches, and don't forget about the killer clowns. The Park Haunted House is the highlight of the year for these participants.
It's all about scaring people. It's really how many people we could scare.
Ronnie Williams is one of a dozen to help design, create, and act in this ghostly walk through the cemetery.
And I gotta tell you, this blood is pretty scary. I'm hoping it's fake, right?
Yes, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
You're gonna ride a horse, maybe? Yeah. And then scream at him?
Brian Rothy, Assistant Vice President of Adult Community Programs, says he knew the haunted house would be fun, but never realized the life skills it would also add.
An awesome team building experience. It has a social component to it. There's a lot of organizing that's going on. There's a lot of planning that has to happen. There's a lot of inventory lists that we have to make, and our participants are taking an active role in that.
I dreamed about being a killer clown ever since I was like a preteen. So it's kind of fun, and it's kind of gruesome and spooky and scary and bleh.
And this weekend they'll have a chance to put all their hard work to the test as they invite family to visit, if they dare.
Are you excited to scare your friends and family this weekend?
Yes.
Are they going to recognize you with all this blood?
No.
Of all the other scary characters, who are you the most afraid of?
The wolf. Brian hopes the community appreciates how dedicated their cast of characters are.
The best part for me is the way that they talk about it throughout the entire year, at how excited they are, the smiles, the stories.
The haunted house will be open for scares this Halloween weekend. And in other Halloween-related notes, love it or hate it, this weekend, candy corn is being celebrated. Today is National Candy Corn Day. This sweet treat was created in the 1800s with ingredients including corn syrup, marshmallows, and a wax made from palm tree leaves called carnauba. The traditional colors are yellow, white, and orange, but you can find a candy corn in a variety of colors these days. And coming up next, this could be a Halloween to remember for one lucky winner as Powerball reaches a record of $1 billion. And how to stay safe this Halloween, what Mayo Clinic doctors recommend for a safe trick-or-treating experience in order to avoid hospital stays.
You've heard what women say about working at Tim Michael's company, that they were groped.
A male superior groped the crotch and inner thigh of a female employee
and pressured to have sex with their bosses. And now we know more. According to an attorney involved in the case, when the only woman on a Michael's road crew was sexually harassed on the job, the company did not take it seriously. From the top down. From the top down. If that's how Tim Michels runs his company, how do you think he'd run the state?
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I'm Dave Estenson, and I'm running for state senate because our current guy is part of the problem. He wrote the state mask mandate. I fought it and won. He's a big spender. I'm fiscally conservative. He's soft on crime. I have 12 years of experience in law enforcement. Sometimes the choice is just that clear, and I know my neighbors will make the right one. I'm Dave Estenson, and I appreciate your vote.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
One lucky lottery player could be in for a very big treat Halloween night. With no winner Saturday night, the Powerball jackpot stands at a staggering $1 billion. This is only the second time in Powerball's 30-year history that the jackpot has hit $1 billion. The biggest of all time was $1.5 billion in January of 2016. Well, a man who calls himself the Wolf of Airbnb is accused of scamming renters out of more than $1 million. Federal authorities say Conrad Beecher failed to pay rent for at least 18 apartments in Manhattan in 2019. Beecher allegedly listed the units as short-term rentals on Airbnb and other rental websites. He now faces 2 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of aggravated identity theft. Each count of wire fraud carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Well, coming up next, how watching a scary movie can be a form of exercise.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. I've got great news in the weather department for all you ghosts and goblins out there trick-or-treating tomorrow evening. All the details of my 8-day forecast after the break.
Inflation's eating up all our savings.
Our home value is plummeting. Yet Biden and Mandela Barnes support a massive tax increase on middle-class families. Are you kidding?
Now Barnes supports hiring an army of IRS agents to audit working families. Who needs that headache?
How about Barnes starts worrying about paying his own taxes?
Wisconsin Truth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
We have a pretty big choice to make in this election, and it's about whether women get to keep their right to choose. I'm pro-choice. Always have been, always will be. Derek Van Orden wants to ban abortion, with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. He'll do anything to take away your right to choose. I'll do anything to protect it. That's the choice in this election. And now, it's up to you. I'm Brad Paff, and I approve this message.
Warm up the room with an electric fireplace from Pleasant Hearth at Menards. Doubling as an entertainment center, add ambience to any room with its realistic flames and embers. Adjust everything from temperature to flame levels with its multifunctional remote. Save 11% on electric fireplaces. Be sure to discover the Criterion advantages with our great selection of in-stock appliances. All energy efficient, from dishwashers and refrigerators to washers and dryers. All Criterion appliances are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side too, rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
As people head out to celebrate Halloween, police are not the only one telling everyone to be careful. According to UW Health Kids experts, kids are twice as likely to be hit by a car and killed on Halloween than on any other day of the year. While major accidents are very rare, UW experts also say that accidents tend to be minor and still encourage families to exercise caution.
Most of those injuries tend to be thankfully minor, from falls, trips, scrapes, broken bones, all that can be taken care of.
Experts recommend that drivers should slow down, kids should carry glow sticks and only cross at crosswalks, and to use face paints instead of masks. And on another scary note for many, it's time to pull out the old scary movies again, and many are wondering why their heart beats quicker from jump scares. Mayo Clinic doctors say that watching a scary movie is as getting this same as physical exercise, and for many others, doctors say it can also trigger a special kind of response.
This comes from the non-fight or flight response. When we are being chased by an animal, our instinct is to either fight the animal or flight, which means to run away.
A recent study funded by the Science of Scare, some of the scariest movies include The Conjuring and Insidious. Well, speaking of scary things, let's hope the weather isn't too scary out there. Bill, what's it looking like?
It's looking very, very good. So I thought we would start with our trick-or-treat forecast for tomorrow evening. Again, most communities from 4 to 8 o'clock in the evening is that trick-or-treat period time. The sunset, by the way, if you're wanting to do it before it gets dark, is just before 6 o'clock. Expect clear skies and mild temperatures. We're going to be around 64 degrees at 4 o'clock, dropping to about 50 degrees by 8 p.m. Fairly light winds as well, so should not interrupt those costumes in higher winds. Things will be really, really nice for trick-or-treating tomorrow evening. Now today we had a lot more cloud cover than we did yesterday, but another mild day. 62 was the high. That is 7 degrees above average. 40 was the low this morning. 37 is average. 80 and 7 are the records for today. No rainfall once again. 59 degrees with a mostly cloudy sky. 60 degrees down at the station, and winds are calm in the Mississippi, falling 4.92 feet. 59 with a mostly cloudy sky for you folks in Eau Claire as well, and your wind also is calm. In fact, it's calm all across the region. Very pleasant late October day from the Front Range of the Rockies, upper 50s there, 60s and many spots in the northern and central plains, and right through the Great Lakes, upper 50s to lower 60s. No significant cold air anywhere across the lower 48, in fact. 59 in La Crosse and Eau Claire, 60 in Sparta, 55 in Black River Falls, 64 in Boscobel, and 61 in Prairie du Chien. And look at this, very infrequent that you see every single reporting station in our viewing area reporting a calm wind right now. That is how still the air is. Now, some clouds passing through, all associated with this large area of low pressure that's bringing kind of scattered showers down to our south. Now, the radar is showing some light returns around here, but the air is just too dry near the surface, so we call that virga. It's evaporating before reaching the surface. In fact, dew points only in the lower to middle 40s. Now, Sky Tracker shows that system passing by well to our south and east, so the cloud cover actually eventually breaks up later tonight and into tomorrow morning. Plenty of sunshine for our Halloween Monday, and a clear skies we head into tomorrow night and Tuesday as well. Plenty of sunshine for Tuesday. South winds start to increase, especially heading into Wednesday, but that's just going to help warm temperatures even more than we saw today. In fact, highs tomorrow, mid-60s, right around 65 or so in the La Crosse area. Mid-60s will be coming down to the south as well. In fact, pretty much every single one of our 65 communities will be between about 61 and 66 degrees for afternoon highs. So again, that's about 8 to 10 degrees above average, right around 62 or 63 degrees for you folks in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. So for tonight, mostly to partly cloudy after midnight, seasonably cool, lows in the 30s for most, but right around 40 in La Crosse. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild. Happy Halloween, 65 for the high. And looking ahead, upper 60s to lower 70s on Tuesday and Wednesday with lots of sunshine. Kind of breezy Wednesday and Thursday. Chance of rain showers Thursday night. Best rain chance on Friday. Maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. Then some off and on showers. Can't be fully ruled out next Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as we cool back into the 50s for highs. And don't forget, next weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning, we fall back 1 hour with the end of daylight saving time.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Well, after the break, we'll have a quick preview of the Packers ahead of their Sunday night game, and the Vikings are looking for their 6th win of the season against the Cardinals. Cade is in next with the highlights.
The Board Store inaugural Fall Home Show is underway. A $250 discount coupon is yours just for stopping by to see all the new displays and updates we have made. We'd love to meet you.
The Cooley region has been good to me and my family, and I wanted to give something back. That's why I ran for the state assembly. And I've tried to do good things in Madison for the people of western Wisconsin. Wisconsin is facing a lot of problems today, and we need people who understand how things work. Right now, Wisconsin has a $5 billion surplus. With that surplus, we need to cut taxes. We need to fix our roads, and we need to fund our schools, and we need to do that now.
As an Army commander, I served God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor.
We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy tender.
Enjoy the crispy chicken sandwich and pair it with medium fries and a $1 any size Diet Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
He pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself. Send him back, and he'll make things worse. Ron Johnson would let Wisconsin ban abortion, even in cases of rape, and said if you don't like it, you can move. He voted to raise the retirement age and wants to end guaranteed spending on the Social Security you earned.
Social Security is a legal Ponzi scheme, but that's exactly what it is.
Ron Johnson, still making it harder on us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Never miss the bus again with the new La Crosse MTU mobile app. Search City of La Crosse MTU in your app store and start planning your trip today. See your bus in real time or click a stop to see your next arrival. Download today.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
It's a big day for our NFL teams. The Packers don't kick off for about another hour and a half, so we'll start with the Vikings. They were at US Bank Stadium taking on the Cardinals. We'll jump to the second half. Kyler Murray hits Zach Ertz for the quick pass, and he's going to fight his way in for the score, so the Cardinals take a 17-14 lead. But this Vikings offense was tough to stop. Cousins hands it off to Alexander Mattison, and he's going right up the middle and fights his way in for the score. And the Cardinals looking to answer. Murray dropping back, buying time, and launching it deep downfield. But that's right into the hands of Harrison Smith. And the Vikings defensive back comes up with a big interception into Cardinals territory. Still on his feet, but finally brought down about the 30-yard line. A few plays later, this time it's Dalvin Cook taking the handoff and scoring. Vikings take a 28-17 lead. Ensuing drive, Murray finding Rondale Moore, and he's going to somehow slip out of this tackle and go all the way in for the touchdown. 3 Viking defenders there, nobody making a play. Now 28-26, but Captain Kirk is going to put this game on ice. He finds KJ Osborne in the end zone, and that's how it would end. Cousins also with a rushing touchdown in this one, and it had the whole team talking.
I had no idea how much it means to the O-linemen when I run. They said it was just a big deal to them. I didn't realize that. If I had known that, maybe I'd run more. So for some reason, they really liked it.
All right, so the Vikings now move to 6-1 on the season, second best record in the NFC behind the Philadelphia Eagles. This team is rolling. All right, in a little bit, the Packers will be kicking off in Buffalo for Sunday Night Football. The Bills are heavy favorites coming into the game, and an already struggling Packers offense will be without Allen Lazard tonight. But I'll give you a bright spot. The Packers have given up the least amount of passing yards per game in the NFL, so if the defense can get a few stops, then maybe Rodgers can work some magic. All right, and Wisconsin took over the NFL today. 5 different former Badgers finding the end zone, starting with Melvin Gordon. He was over in London, finding the end zone here. Russell Wilson also had a touchdown of this one as the Broncos got the win. Cowboys versus Chicago. Dak Prescott to Jake Ferguson, the former Wisconsin tight end, finding the end zone, and then the classic hog tie celebration. Wearing a Dolphins uniform, that's Alec Ingold taking the snap under center, and the fullback sneaking his way in for 6 as the Cowboys won over the Bears. And then in Pittsburgh, some trickery here. Chase Claypool takes the handoff and finds Derek Watt for the score. That's all I have for now. We'll be right back.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
This is fentanyl, so dangerous that one pill kills. They make it in China, smuggle it through Mexico. Across our border that Joe Biden surrendered to cartels and gangs. Brad Path backs Biden's open border agenda 100%. Fentanyl killed 1,200 people last year in Wisconsin alone. Now every town is a border town. Path won't stop the drugs, so we have to stop Brad Path.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead cost.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Madison insider and career politician Steve Doyle, completely out of touch. Under Doyle's failed leadership, soaring inflation, high gas prices, rising crime, and party bosses and insiders are funneling over $500,000 to keep Doyle in power, answering to them, not us. It's time for change. Ryan Hipsch, born and raised here in the Cooley region. Ryan is a fresh voice who will always put our communities first, not the Madison insiders. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
I was in law enforcement for over 40 years, and I can't imagine a better attorney general than Josh Kaul. He's a real prosecutor who's locked up murderers, serial rapists, the really dangerous guys you want off the street, and kept them behind bars. And he'll work with anyone, Republican or Democrat, to get it done. Look, there's more we have to do, but the only one I'd want leading the fight against crime is our Attorney General, Josh Kaul.
All right, Kate, I gotta know what your Halloween costume is this weekend.
Well, I'm putting on the Cheesehead hat, and I'm watching the Packers game tonight.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now.